All right, I think we're back. Are we back? We might be back. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. We had a little bit of a technical difficulties with the last Google Hangout stream that we used. You guys should let me know in the chat. Is it working? Is everything working okay, or is it still off? Or let me know if everything's okay. So anyway, we are back with another PE podcast, episode 21. We got Mama Mercy and Jordan Fringe here. Jordan Fringe, how you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Mama Mercy, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct. We're going to be directing it up. Everybody says that it's working, so that's good. That's good that it's working, because like stuff that's not working isn't good.
All I see is waiting for player essence.
Yep.
Okay. It says waiting. It doesn't say.
It says waiting. It's not. You're not live yet.
It says that I'm live. You sure you're on the right one?
This is the new one that popped up.
Are you sure? It says I'm live on mine.
Oh my god!
Hey, what? Hey, in the chat.
Now this
am
you
I
had
live in
two
the chat?
links live.
It says that we're back. They said that we're back on here.
Yeah, OJ, you have another link that's live.
Yeah.
So this link isn't working.
No, there's another one that's working, but the other one wasn't working. Another different one that popped up.
What about the one that I gave you guys? But you guys are here. So hold up.
No, we're here. It's fine. It's all good.
Can I? Do I have to do something?
No, you're live. You're live. It's just there was two things that were set up. One, and it has like 24 people waiting in it.
Oh, okay. I think that's the old one. Here's what I gotta do. We gotta exit. This is stuff that I need to do when we're not live.
You think?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, I thought we would be good because it's a stream now. So I mean, stream now, like that's like, you know, it's over with. So
we are the most professional podcast.
We are a very professional podcast. You said raise your volume. Okay. So sorry about this, guys. I think maybe because I've been streaming so much today, maybe that's what the issue is. I'm not really sure what's going on. But we're gonna do our best to kind of get through the podcast today. Let's see here. They said raise the volume of mine. Okay, so I raised my volume. So you guys let us know. You guys can give us some help here in the chat. You guys give us some help. Let us know. Yeah, the audio is just coming out really, really low on some people's.
Testing. Can people hear me?
Okay, that should have came out good. It hit good numbers on mine.
Okay. Welcome.
Yeah, it's good. Everybody says it's good. People are saying it's good. Okay. So if you're in the old chat, go over to or if you're in the old one, go to the new one. If you're in the old one, go to the new one. Yes, guys, we've heard about Assassin's Creed Cloud Edition. We are on the internet just like you are on the internet. It's okay, man. Calm down. Stop spamming. We heard you. Okay? We'll talk about that in just a bit, all right? We're just trying to make sure everything's going good. Please don't spam. Okay? We heard about it, all right, man? Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into this. We got Mama Mercy here. We got Jordan Fringe here. How you guys doing today? Everybody's good?
Good.
Yeah,
Doing good. I didn't murder children.
You didn't murder children. And I just want to sit here and say, don't hate me, guys, because Jordan is going to say a lot of controversial things on this podcast about the
When don't I? Tell me straight. Tell me.
I know, but this one's going to be hard for you to defend. This one's going to be hard for you to defend.
I'm ready for the evisceration of my name online.
This is going to be hard for you to defend, man.
That's fine. You know, I got some tea to spill on this. I got some stuff to say.
So
let's get into it.
Let's first talk about the Direct itself. So there was a Nintendo Direct. The highlights of the Direct were that Luigi's Mansion 3 was announced. We got a brand new RPG from GameFreak, developed from GameFreak called Town. It's just a working title, so we don't know what the name is going to be, but that's coming out 2019. Luigi's Mansion 2019. We got Animal Crossing 2019. Those are the new announcements for the Nintendo Switch, the bigger new announcements. And then, pretty much like every single Final Fantasy game. Like not every single one, but Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, I think 10-2. I'm not sure if that was included in there, 10-2. And 12, along with Chocobo Dungeon, that was back on the Wii. Also, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, World of Final Fantasy as well. So just like a bunch of Final Fantasy games are coming over to the Nintendo Switch in 2019. The biggest one, probably Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age. That's the remaster. Or remake. It's like a remaster / remake. There's a lot of upgraded stuff, but then there's stuff that's like looks the same but like shinier. So it's somewhere in between a remaster. I think it's a remake at this point, considering all the stuff that they've done to it. So Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age is probably the biggest one out of that. But then also like World of Final Fantasy, that's a game. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, we knew about that one, but we didn't know about all the other Final Fantasy games. But I tried to let you guys know about that because I actually had a video saying that, hey, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition blows the door open for other mainline games to come to the Switch. And here we are. Here we are at this point. So there was that as well. We got a big Splatoon update in Japan. So I'll just talk about it real quick before we get into talking about it more. Assassin's Creed Odyssey Cloud Edition was announced. So this is very similar to like the Resident Evil 7 Cloud Edition. So I don't think it's going to come over to the West because that hasn't been announced here. There was also New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe that was announced. There was Katamari Damacy or whatever that name is. Reroll that was announced. I'm actually really excited for that. I never beat the original, but I remember renting it like back on like the PS2 or whatever it came out on. I forgot. I remember just playing the game, or maybe I played it. I played it at some point, but I never beat it. So that's coming out as well. Is there anything I'm missing? They talked about some of the games that we already knew about, like Damien Cross, Machina or Ex Machina. They talked about The World Ends With You Final Remix. They talked about what was it? Golden Country, Torn of the Golden Country, which I'm hyped for. Shout outs, Nintendo. We're gonna be getting some free giveaways for Torn of the Golden Country. So they talked about that as well. There was some stuff for 3DS. There's like a Kirby game, a port of a Kirby game, with some new content in there. There's a City Skylines. That was a new third-party announcement for the Nintendo Switch. That game's like on PC and something, but like I guess apparently like that game, a lot of people were saying that there's no way this game can run on Switch, like on the subreddit. Like some people were asking for the game on Switch, like port begging for it, and then there was like a big subreddit about this game itself, that there's no way that this game can run on Switch, and it's coming to Switch, and apparently it's out today already. The city, so it's like a good Sim City, guys. Essentially, like, you know how EA ruined Sim City? This City Skylines game or whatever is like a good Sim City. So there you go. They talked about Civilization. They talked about Diablo 3. That's November 2nd. They talked about Starlink Battle for Atlas and Star Fox in there. There was just a bunch of crap, dude. I'm probably missing some stuff that they talked about.
That's
too.
the key word there. Bunch of crap.
There was a bunch of good stuff.
Bunch of crap.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
That's gonna be some hot takes.
I disagree. So Jordan doesn't think that the direct was that good. He thinks that the only good announcement was, you said, go ahead and tell us why you don't think the direct was that good.
All right. So first off, I had to give it a rating. It's a solid 2 out of 10. It's a very boring direct.
That's ridiculous.
It was boring. It's like, hey, remember all these games? Now they're on your Switch. And like there was points where I was in a Discord call, and every time someone was like, "Watch it be this," and then it turned out to be that I was joking. Like Civilization 6, like all these other games on there. It's just like, okay, how many titles were different variations of the word remaster? All right, Katamari Damacy Reroll literally looks the exact same.
What does that matter? Like if
it looks the exact. Why did they dedicate so much time to showing off all this stuff? The one we either already know about or really doesn't matter. Like why'd they show us? You guys get Lord of the Rings card game on your Switch. Why take up that time? Is it that big of a deal? Does it deserve to be in the Switch? Like announcement? Like, hey guys, we got this card game.
I'm very concerned on what you think a direct is supposed to be. Like a direct isn't a super show. When did you start following Nintendo? When did you start following Nintendo?
They announced some booty hole stuff during this, man. It was boring, and then they almost got me really pissed off with that fake out at the end with Isabelle for Smash, and I was like, God damn it! And then right at the end, they're like, oh, and then Tom Nook's like, hey, here's Animal Crossing coming, and Nintendo's going back on their word. Did they not just get done talking about how they're not going to talk about anything until it's closer to its release, but then they talked about like 4 games that are coming out in 2019?
That's because everyone complains, and look, we got people whining and crying in the chat right now. When Nintendo doesn't talk about things, what do people do?
I don't need them to talk about
Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS,
word.
even though we all know Luigi's Mansion is going to come to the Switch at some point. If Nintendo doesn't say anything, people go insane. Look at the gap between E3 and this Direct. We all know a fall Direct is coming, yet people still cried, whined, and complained about 2019 games. Where's 2019? Where's 2019?
We don't need to be talking about that. I would have rather had wait till the February Direct. I would have been fine because half of the games, there was one game that said spring and the rest said 2019.
This is the classic example of you can't please everybody, because if Nintendo doesn't talk about it, then people say
maybe they just shouldn't talk at all. No more Directs. No more talking at all. Save it for E3.
This is a classic example of Nintendo cannot. The thing about it is that Nintendo's done this before, right? At the Direct at E3, everyone's saying, "Where's the 2019 games?" Nintendo says, "Okay, we'll wait more towards fall, so we make an announcement." Now you're saying, "Why are they talking about games for 2019?" Like what?
No, because like everything they talked about, it was a damn remaster.
Okay, Jordan, I don't know about you, but I'm a mom, and like I know you're like, oh, 2019's so far away because you don't have kids. Like these next 3 months for me are gonna fly by because I got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas to think about, and 2 small boys to make happy.
Yeah, that's
so
a lot to think about. All right,
2019 is really not that far away. Like,
about
I'm
like
throw
a
a rock,
Yoshi.
and we're gonna be having our Christmas direct.
I'm not worried about the spring 2019 when they put them, but the ones that just said 2019, it's like don't even talk about them. Don't even talk unless they're coming out right at the beginning.
So
don't
you
talk
hate
about
all
them.
E3s then, because that's what Microsoft and Sony do.
Yeah, I hate them all. This last E3 sucked.
Okay. Just
Every
as long as you're
conference
even
sucked.
with that, I'm cool. Just as long as
Every
you're even with that, I'm
conference sucked. Everything that they showed was like either not coming out for a long time or coming out tomorrow. Like I don't care. Like I'm just so tired of conferences like trying to build up something and they don't either deliver on the hype that gets put around on the internet because of it, or they over deliver to where a game doesn't come out for 4 years. And like I just want a happy medium. Like
But
talk
Nintendo
about
announced 2019 though. Like Spider-Man was announced in 20.
And that's a problem. It was
But
3
that was
years.
3 years
It was
later.
3 years.
We're talking
Yeah.
games that are coming in 2019. We're
Look
talking
at Days Gone. By the time it comes out, that's 4 years of talking about it.
Okay, well, let's move on. Let's just move on. Let's move on from what
OJ,
else?
turn up your mic volume a little bit. Some people in the chat are saying that it's hard to hear you.
Hard to hear me? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I already turned up my mic volume. Okay, let me turn up my mic volume some more. Oh, okay, I know what's going on here. All right, there we go. I think it should be better now. It should be better now, I think. You guys let me know in the chat. Is the mic volume better now? Because if it's not, I can turn up the volume more. So let me know. So, okay. So Jordan doesn't like remasters or ports, basically.
No, I don't. It's not that I don't dislike them.
He's a port.
I think it's
He
fine.
doesn't like ports. He doesn't like remasters. He's
I
hating.
like them. I do buy them for the ones that I want to
Wait,
get.
hold
That's
on.
not the
Isn't your
problem.
precious Spyro game a
That's
remaster?
a remake.
Or
Complete remake from the ground up.
Well,
There's
according
no
to you, it doesn't
unused
matter.
asset. I'm talking about the fact that it's a
Dude, it's the old
everything
games
is
with a new
dedicated
skin.
to it. Everything is just dedicated to that. For like 65% of this was like, and here's a remaster, here's a remake, here's all these other Final Fantasy games that have already
That's
been out.
what people
on
want.
Here's that.
Did you go to my channel?
They have to dedicate a 35-minute direct to 65%
That's
remasters.
not long.
That's a lot of time. Just put out a trailer for something that's a remaster. You don't have to make it this whole big event. I feel like there was a lot of time wasted either showing off a remaster or showing off things that we've already talked about.
There was no trailers more than there was no. I mean, first of all, the direct was delayed, so you can't knock them.
And that's why they threw in that Luigi's Mansion in there at the beginning, because that was that delayed special. They were like this. Oh yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3. We'll talk about that later though, guys. You're welcome.
I already knew Luigi's Mansion. I already knew Luigi's Mansion 3.
Everyone knew that was coming.
No, everyone didn't know it was coming. No.
Well, they should have
Everyone
known.
didn't know it was coming because everyone complained. Why isn't Luigi's Mansion? Like, where's the Switch? Where's Switch? Where's Switch?
Everyone knew Luigi's Mansion. I knew it was coming. All right. I knew it was coming.
Not everyone started. Okay, listen. Like, I need to start taking some receipts on these people out here. When people start saying, "Where's Switch? Where's Switch?" I need to start taking some receipts for Jordan, because I can guarantee you, people weren't saying, "Oh well, I know Luigi's Mansion's coming to the Switch" when Luigi's Mansion was announced for the 3DS. I guarantee you, people weren't saying that. People were saying,
I said it.
Let's go to
said it on a
the
podcast. I said, why are they going to do that when they're inevitably going to make 3 for the Switch? Why didn't they just put 1 and then port 2 to the Switch?
Resources.
That was my thing.
Because here's the reason why. Let me tell.
Why do they got to keep that thing alive? Just move to the Switch.
Let me tell you the reason why Luigi's. Let me tell you the reason why Luigi's Mansion 1 and Luigi's Mansion 2 or Dark Moon isn't on Switch. Because resources. Nintendo is not going to put, like, next level games. Those are the people who make the game. They're not going to put. They're going to have to build whole new games for those, like a whole new engine or a whole new game. It's just going to take a long time to do it. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was already on 3DS. What did they do? They just took the same engine that was already built and they just put Luigi's Mansion from the GameCube on there. Easy. You know what I'm saying? Then they said, you know what? We're just going to dedicate all of our resources and time, because Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube is short. You can beat it in like a couple hours. You put that on the Switch, is it a $60 game? They'd rather just dedicate their resources and time into making Luigi's Mansion a big, full-priced Luigi's Mansion game. That's the reason why. They could maybe put Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon and also 1 on the Switch, but that's going to take up a lot of resources and time. Is that going to affect Luigi's Mansion 3? Are you going to be able to get that out on time? Who are you going to be able to do it? Is Next Level Games big enough to make Luigi's
They
Mansion
didn't give it
1,
released.
2?
They just said next year it'll hit on time. They didn't give
So
release
you're
date.
trying to tell me that they can make Luigi's Mansion 1 remake?
They could remaster the GameCube version and put it on the Switch in the
How?
in the
You need an
eShop.
HD engine. That's not something that you could just do, snap your finger and do. You would need to
They're
make
putting
But I thought
PlayStation
we
2
were mad
games
about
on the
remastered.
Switch now. You could put that
Zodiac
GameCube game
Age is already on the
Switch.
PS4.
I'm talking about Katamari. That's a PlayStation 2 game. It still looks like a PlayStation 2 game.
It's a PC game too. It's on PC as well. So they were putting it on PC, so they just put the PC game on the Switch.
Either way.
I'm just look.
Either
I'm just
way,
telling
we
you from the
can't even get a
developer's
full
standpoint.
Final Fantasy 15 on the Switch, so they're going to give us the cell phone version.
Well,
all right.
look, Final Fantasy
can
15
I-
it's still coming. I think it might come at some point.
They're gonna put a pocket edition first and then a real edition later.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
God, I hate that decision even more. That's
Okay,
like, hey guys, we also have this
Or-
other 15 on the
Final
Switch.
Fantasy 15, it might just be might be a little too ambitious, so they might not be able to get it on there. But I'll take. I mean, to be honest, 12 is better in my opinion. I think 12 is a little bit better, but that's just me.
You're gonna take the heavily downgraded version of Final Fantasy 15 over Final Fantasy 15.
No, I already have Final Fantasy 15.
Can I interject?
So, but then you're still gonna get Camp,
Huh?
or not Camp, it's
I'll
the
probably
pocket
be
edition.
given a code for that. I can get like a review code for that. I'm not gonna buy it. I'll probably get a review code for it or something.
But you wouldn't go out and buy it
Would I go out? No. Why would I go out and buy it? I'll
because
get it.
Final Fantasy 15 itself is a great game that should be.
Let's let
focused
Mama
on-
Mercy talk. She wants to interject.
Well, just what Jordan said earlier. He's like, okay, so all the Final Fantasy games are remakes. There are 9 Final Fantasy games coming to the Switch. 2 of them have been on a Nintendo console. The other 7 have never touched a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
So those aren't remakes. Like, because Nintendo people haven't had them. If you strictly have been a Nintendo person your entire life,
Well,
you've never gotten a chance to play these games.
That's not
Technically,
what-
they still are remakes, but I don't care that it was on there. I thought it was just hilarious that it was like one after another, like this Final Fantasy and this Final Fantasy. In my head, I was like, wow. Square Enix is like, Octopath did insane. Let's just put everything on the Switch now.
Which is
That's
great.
what I felt like. It's like, you know what? We have this crappy game that didn't sell well on the Wii. We had this extra game over here. We have the cell phone version of Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, put
Okay,
that
okay.
on there.
Everybody
Let's
keeps going
put-
to cell
let's put
phone version
7
of
on there.
Final
That'll
Fantasy 15.
please the
But
fans.
Final Fantasy 15 is also going to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. And like I said on Avid Industry, and I'm sure you don't follow me, Jordan, Final Fantasy 15 is either for A, people who don't have a computer or a hardcore system, or B, it's a great way to get your kids into Final Fantasy.
I mean, look, guys. I'm not. Like,
Square
I'm not-
Enix did
I see what
openly
Jordan's
admit-
saying. I see what Jordan's saying. I'd rather have the bigger Final. I mean, I already have the bigger Final Fantasy and whatever.
But-
I mean, that game chugs. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't be done, but if they're going to do it, they got to do it right, or you're going to get a crappy Final Fantasy 15 on Switch. The Luminous engine is not a good engine. No matter what Square Enix is going to sit there and show you tech demos, they'll show you tech demos that run at 5,000 frames per second, and then when you play the game, you out here doing the robot in Final Fantasy 15. You know what I'm saying? So like Square Enix, that engine is the problem, and I think that's the biggest thing with bringing it over to Switch is the Luminous engine. Tetsuya Takahashi, or not Tetsuya, Takahashi, I forgot what his name is. The guy that's the main dude for Final Fantasy 15. Tetsuya Takahashi, I think that's the Xenoblade guy. But anyway, the guy who's the main dude for Final Fantasy 15, he said that, oh yeah, we did test and Unreal Engine 4 ran a lot better. But if you want to bring the game with Unreal Engine 4, you're gonna have to redo it. You're swapping engines. You know, so that's the biggest hurdle.
Which is why
that
7
one.
remakes in.
So then why don't they just wait?
Because, dude, do you realize how big that game is? Like, how long did it take us to get Final
They're
Fantasy
bringing
15?
over 10 other Final Fantasy games.
These are not on the Luminous engine or as.
So in the meantime, disperse these other ones evenly, not all at once, and then as time goes on,
Well,
make
we
15
don't know they're
work.
not coming
Because
out.
these are all games that people have been asking for on
Wait,
the Switch,
wait,
so
time
they're
out.
getting them
They're
out
not
of
all
the.
coming out at once. They're not all
out of the
coming out
way.
at once.
No, I know that. I'm just saying they need to spread that out over time, long enough while they can work on 15 on the other engine.
But that's what they're gonna do. I don't think they're all gonna come out on one day.
So then why can't we just get Final Fantasy 15, the real Final Fantasy 15, just worked on instead of giving us this version in the meantime?
What? I don't get what you're asking for.
Why is this version exist? Like, why are they bringing the cell phone game to consoles?
Because
Like,
they
why?
Because they want to.
There's
Like,
the real game is out there. Work on that instead.
Yes.
I don't like this. Like, bring me the real game. Don't give me the little like scribbled
Jordan,
down version.
Jordan, Square has already admitted that the Luminous engine will not work on the Switch, but
That's
people
their
still
problem.
want
We need to figure it
15
out.
on the Switch.
Then
If they
work
went to
on it.
Unreal Engine 4, they would have to make the game again from the ground up.
I don't understand. What I don't understand is that like, you're just saying the game just shouldn't exist at all. Is that what you're saying?
It shouldn't be like the offering, like, hey, you could play this version on other consoles, but we'll give you this version instead.
But that's not
At least we're
version.
getting
But
something.
that's not the. But
it's such a downgraded way to play the
but
game.
Jordan, that's not the point. The point is Switch is not.
The point
PS4,
is
the Switch is not PS4 and Xbox One. Switch is not an x86 system developed in 20.
But I don't want it to
2013.
ever feel like it's the hand-me-down console.
But it's not.
But
It's not
It's
going to
not
get.
the hand-me-down
It's like
console.
a hand-me-down. It's like we're gonna give it this remaster, and they'll put this game, and here's some.
It's not. If you're expecting
Here's
Final
20.
Fantasy, if you're expecting Final Fantasy 15 and all the games that come to PS4 and Xbox One, you're not. You're definitely not going to get. I mean,
I'm
you're gonna
not
be
saying I'm
disappointed. You're gonna be
expecting it,
disappointed.
but if I had a choice in the matter, if they're saying, "Do you want 15?" I would rather have a full 15.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Totally.
but they
Yeah, I agree
already
there.
said that it would take them forever to convert the original 15 game to the Switch. Square Enix came out and said their engine does not work good on the Switch. If they put it in Real Engine 4, they're going to have to put tons of work into
It would
it.
take a lot of work.
Why wait, and
Then
you're
put
sitting
in
there
the
like,
work,
why give us
boys.
the 15, even though we know the 15 will work on the Switch? Why waste the resources of our special Square Enix team for the Switch, remaster or refixing their original 15 to work on the Switch when they can give us the Pocket Edition and make us some new games? Bring me Chrono Trigger. I would be happy with the Pocket Edition
Why-
of freaking
here's
15.
the
Bring me
best
Chrono
thing.
Trigger.
Why
Bring
don't
me
they just
Secrets
work
of
on
Mana.
new
Bring me
games?
something else
I
that
like
they
that
have
too.
to the table.
Well, Square Enix remasters and ports everything. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're gonna work on new games. They've already said that they've got like the first talking about Octopath Traveler, like a sequel to Octopath Traveler. I think they're gonna bring out new stuff as well. But Square Enix is always gonna remaster and port things. And I can guarantee you, dude, if these didn't come over, people are pissed. So I mean, I think it's like Nintendo's in like that. No, right now they're in that situation. I see what Jordan. First of all, I see what you're saying, Jordan. I think you have a valid point. I think there's gonna be other people. I think you have valid points within your whole general idea of what you're saying. Like I think that what Jordan's trying to say is like, okay, well, we want like people want Final Fantasy 15, not this version of it. But I think if the Switch was more like PS4 and Xbox One, was x86 and did everything just like those systems do, I'd be exactly like that. That would be a disgrace, but it's not. Like Final Fantasy 15 is a rough game on PS4 and Xbox One, base PS4s and Xbox Ones. If you have an Xbox One X, it still doesn't even run it at the 60 frames per second like they said. So they didn't even deliver on what they said that they were going to deliver on, 60 frames per second on Xbox One X. They can't even do that on there. So to get it on Switch in the Luminous, that engine, the biggest problem is the Luminous engine. If they ever figure out how to get it on Unreal Engine 4 and get it out on there on Switch, then they can do it. But I just think that it's unfortunate that, you know, they can't do it, you know, quicker or whatever the case is. But swapping engines for a game, especially for a game like Final Fantasy 10 or 15 took 10 years to make, you know? So swapping engines and then releasing that, like having it on Switch, that's tough.
That's due to the studio not having any direction on what game they're making half the time. That's Square Enix's fault in production. That's why it took 10 years. The
Jordan,
game itself should have taken that.
They did try. They did screw around with the Luminous engine on the Switch to try to get 15, the original 15 on the Switch. They couldn't do it. When they announced the Pocket version or the cell phone version, people swarmed Square Enix to be like, we'll be happy with just this version on the Switch. Just give us 15.
I don't know who the people are just
You're not happy with anything.
I'm happy with a lot of things.
Okay,
I mean, half the fun of this is that I'm really just kind of trolling for a good conversation. And like
No,
a lot of people in the comments are taking this really to heart. In the grand scheme of things, did I like the direct? No, I thought it was a little bit boring. Am I happy we're getting all this shit? Sure, that's fine. I really don't care at the end of the day.
Earlier,
it's because I'm having a good debate. I'm giving the exaggerated version of my
Why do you have to say that though, Jordan? You don't gotta say that during when you could have
because people are giving me death threats.
No, nobody's giving you.
I am getting pictures of my house through like scopes of snipers right now. Sent to my Twitter DMs.
Stop it! Because there's people that are actually getting their houses. There's streamers that are actually getting their houses shot up. Dr. Disrespect. You guys hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that. And that's why. So I'm trying to calm down the situation. I don't need no problem.
No, but it's okay to think that if you didn't.
If you think that, Jordan, you're well entitled to your opinion. I mean, it may not be the greatest opinion, but you're entitled to it.
Here's my opinion on everything in general. Do I really care about anything that happened in the direct, like to the extent of loving it or hating it, like to that extreme? No, didn't really care. It to me, A lot of stuff in it didn't interest me, aside from one or two things. Am I happy people are getting stuff? Yes. Do I agree with certain things personally? No. But am I exaggerating a bit to have a fun discourse? Absolutely. I'm giving the full argument of the other side of it.
Well, I mean, because we have somebody here in the chat. I don't know. Big Dan says the direct was a waste of time, and I don't see. It's like comments like this that say like, really, you can't please everyone. Like when you announce Animal Crossing, you announce Luigi's Mansion, you announce Isabelle, you announce a new Smash bundle, you announce all this, you announce Final Fantasy, first time in 20 years. That Final Fantasy's been on Nintendo since the mainline Final Fantasy, and it's a waste of time. You know, whether he's trolling or not, it doesn't matter. But there's probably people out there that are thinking this.
No, there
this
is people who think
on
my wavelength, and I know that someone in my Discord somewhere in this conversation I was in earlier.
So you can never please anybody. That's what I'm trying to say. You can never please anybody or everybody.
No, absolutely not. There's always going to be another side to the argument for people who can defend Final Fantasy Pocket Edition. There's other people who are going to say that's not what I want. I'd rather them just not do that and work as hard as they can. In the meantime, no longer if it takes them 10 more years.
Do you know what I have to say to people who want the original Final Fantasy 15, the really nice one, the one on the Luminous engine? Go get a PlayStation. Go get an Xbox. Go get a PC.
I can want that too.
That bad. Go get one of the systems it plays on. But don't sit there and harp that the Switch got at least an edition. There's no reason for you to be complaining about it. Like
they got baby's first Final Fantasy edition.
But they got Final Fantasy 12. They got Final Fantasy, 7, 9. They got all these great Final Fantasies.
I'm glad that 7 is coming. I think that's a cool thing for everyone. I think that's a dope decision.
I don't even have all the insider info that OJ has, and I saw this coming a mile away. I talked about it on Avidance pod stream last week with 15 being announced because the direct got canceled. I was like, we're going to get more Final Fantasy games. Yeah, you guys just watch. And Final Fantasy 7 is going to be one of them. And look, we got the direct and we got 7.
Announcements leaked, though. Some people are talking like announcements leaked. Like that's not, it's like what's actually coming to the system. Who cares about leaked? I mean, if you're playing for a spectacle, then that's fine.
Not leaked.
It doesn't matter.
What I care about coming to the Switch.
Is the content actually coming? And like just because something was leaked, that doesn't mean, oh well, let's just forget about it. Show sucks because it was leaked. No, it's still content coming to your system. Like to me, the people who are more worried about the spectacle are the people who don't buy anything. They don't buy any of the games. They're just worried about, oh, let me get the hype for announcements. Let's talk about the actual content coming to the system. I think Jordan talked about it earlier about how a lot of these shows, it's just like, oh well, it's just blanket statement like, oh, this game's coming out, like Skull and Bones. Is there any release date? No. Is there any, like, when's it coming? Well, we don't know when it's coming. Like, those are the type of shows that I dislike. At least I want a target year for it. I think with this direct, personally for me, with those 3 announcements, the Town RPG, the fact that's coming 2019, brand new GameFreak IP. People want new IPs. They got it right there. You look at Luigi's Mansion. People have been bitching about, excuse my language, people have been complaining about that with Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS, and then you also got Animal Crossing, the Smash bundle. There was enough stuff in there for me to say, oh, well, a lot of it wasn't leaked. Animal Crossing wasn't leaked. Luigi's Mansion wasn't leaked. The Town RPG was not leaked. All of the Final Fantasy games was not leaked. It was rumored, but it was not leaked in a way to where
the only one that was for sure was 15.
Yeah, the only Crystal Chronicles was announced.
Oh, and Crystal Chronicles
and 15 Pocket Edition. That one did come out as well, but all the other ones, those ones didn't come out too. So to say like, oh well, most of it was leaked. No, it wasn't. Most of the direct was it was either stuff that we knew about, but the Katamari, whatever that game is, Damachi rolling game reroll, that wasn't leaked. So most of it, that's a stretch to say that most of it was leaked. I heard some other people saying that, not just Big Dan in the chat section here, but I heard other people saying that no, it's not. That's not the case. Most of it was not leaked.
Are all Mario games?
No, rumored is not leaked. People need to like. People are keep on going. Rumored is not leaked. Let's make sure we know the difference for the chat. If something is rumored, it's rumored. That doesn't mean it's leaked. I can sit here and say, I can start a rumor about, I don't know, Final Fantasy 16. I can put out a rumor there, which happens. People just make up
We're
stuff.
getting a new Golden Sun game.
Yeah, we're getting a new Golden Sun.
First.
It's rumored. Like, no. Just rumored does not, that doesn't mean it's leaked. There's a difference between leaked and rumored. And now on top of that, leaked, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition wasn't leaked. It was officially announced. You know what I'm saying? Civilization 6 wasn't leaked. It was officially announced because the direct was delayed. There was very few leaked stuff in there. There was rumored stuff, but leaked? No, not really. Leaked is actually like to where it's truth. Like you hear about it and it wasn't supposed to come out. That's a leak. So let's make sure that we get the difference between a leak and not. And no, we're smoke that's fire. That doesn't make a leak or not. So anyway, I'm done arguing with you, Big Dan, because it seems like your goalpost moving at this point. A leak and a rumor are not the same thing. Plain and simple. I work in this business. A leak and a rumor aren't the same thing. They're not. Anybody can make up a rumor. A leak is something that's actually true that comes out that you know is going to happen. So no.
There's a leak in the boat.
No, leak and rumor are not the same thing. Not smoke, fire. No, that's a rumor. Rumor doesn't. There's a lot of smoke, lots of places. Doesn't mean that there's a fire there. There's much stuff has been rumored out there that doesn't happen. I mean, come on, stop. Anyway, okay. Jordan, I know you wanted to say something.
Are all Mario games that come from the Wii U to the Switch, are they all going to be called Deluxe? Like, is like Super Mario 3D World Deluxe, Mario Maker Deluxe? 'Cause I kind of dig it. You know, what's funny? As much as I really don't want to rebuy that game for $60, I really like the way the title looks with the Joy-Cons. It says Deluxe in gold. Just want to say that. Good logo design.
What about the okay, another thing that we have to talk about, because this was also an announcement that people were like, oh, this is going to be trash. So they had like the Nintendo Switch Online. They didn't announce anything really new for it outside of like the controllers, the NES controllers. But I think also with the actual data mined leak out there, so a data mine that shows actual information, we do know that those controllers would potentially come. I made a video on it. Also, it does seem like Super Nintendo controllers and other controllers from other systems are going to be coming as well, because those were in the same data mine thing out from there. And then when we got the controllers, that was actually Game Explained did a video. I did a video. Jonathan Spawnweb did a video on it. So it does seem like Super Nintendo games are going to be coming based on that data mine. So do you guys have any thoughts on the Nintendo Switch Online? Hating it? Want to kill Nintendo? What do you, anything on that, guys?
I'm gonna get it.
I mean, I'll get it. If I play
online, I play with you, OJ. My kids play with some of their friends online, so I'm gonna get it. I now don't have to worry about if my kids ever touch my Switch. All my stuff's gonna disappear.
Okay, we got some donations here that we're gonna read off. And dude, the Fringe fam, you're losing your army, man. K9 isn't K19 your boy?
That's my boy, dude. He's probably gonna tell me I'm an idiot.
Yeah, he said, I'm canceling my Fringe Fam Patreon subscription right now. Jordan, you are wrong. Best direct ever, man. And then he also said joke.
Best direct ever. Kiss my ass, K19. You know for a fact that
what direct was better? What direct was better than this one?
Yes, because I know all the directs off my head, but I know there's definitely been a way better direct
in the Switch era.
And when you can find that direct, Jordan, you let us know.
Wait, in the Switch era.
I'll find it for next week. I'll find the best Switch.
In the Switch era? Are you talking about in the Switch era or the before?
In the Switch era. Definitely before the Switch, there's 100% better ones, but
before the Switch?
Before the Switch, yeah, there's definitely better ones, more entertaining ones.
There's one. The E3 2014 and January 2013. Those were the only two directs that were actually really good in the Wii U. In the Wii U era.
Hey, but they were still better. They're still good.
You know what? No, because they did a lot of the things that you talked about here. Like they did a lot of the
Did they?
Yeah, okay, let's talk about the 2013. 2013, they had a lot of...
I honestly don't even remember who was in them, so go ahead.
I've been covering Nintendo for a long time. Okay, I can tell you guys. 2013, here's the direct that they had in 2013. They had Monolith Soft's Xenoblade Chronicles X, right? No release date. No, what, dude, that game came out more than 2 years later. Like, that game came out like 2.5 years later, okay? So they had that game at that one in 2013. They had Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which back then was known as Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, and all they did was have artwork moving on the screen, okay? They had Yoshi, just a blanket Yoshi game. You know what I'm saying? That game came out more than 2 years later. They had Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, which did end up coming out later that year. And I think they also had a couple other announcements. Those were the highlights of the 2013 direct. Everyone was saying, "Oh my God, this is the best direct."
That's more highlights I could say for this one.
But this one actually had released years. Like with the big games, they actually had released years, and we got.
Hey, that could change. That could change any minute.
It could, but at least we got something. It could. You're right. It could, but at least we got something. And then with the 2014,
we also have games already rumored for next year, like Fire Emblem. Not rumored. Announced for next year, like Fire Emblem.
Oh, that Capcom collection. People are talking about the Capcom collection. That's actually awesome. Dude. Yeah. Captain Commando with online multiplayer. I'm down. I am down for that. I'm totally
I saw your shift in like years when you were like, "Oh, this is kind of cool," and then they started announcing games you actually like, and your whole mood changed.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you announce stuff that I. But the thing about it is, like, for me, I thought, like I said, that was the most. Like, I want to hear about stuff that we're going to be able to play, even if it's something that we've heard about before. At least stuff that we're going to play. The biggest thing that I hate with these shows sometimes is that they just announce stuff and it's like blanket. They don't give us any type of release date or anything. Give us something. And at least they said 2019 for all those big games, but I would think it would be 2019. If you look at 2018, people have been complaining that Nintendo doesn't have as many big games this year as they did in 2017 while they're making the games this year. So it makes a little bit of sense, right? That these games would be 2019. Game Freak is, they are cooking. Game Freak is cooking. Pokemon Let's Go, The Town, and Pokemon 2019 all within a year's time span with releases. So that's pretty crazy.
OJ, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody I'm watching the comments and a lot of people are like, there are a lot of ports. And are we really having this conversation again? Like,
Yes.
we're getting new games. But you know what? You guys are like, there are sitting there people I can go on YouTube right now. Oh, the Nintendo Switch is having a dry spell. And, there are people, where are all the big titles? Okay, so Nintendo gives you guys titles. Oh, they're all ports. I don't know if you guys realize that video games don't just come out of nowhere. Like, it's not like one day you just wake up and reach in the air and you're like, I got a brand new $60 game now. Like, no development time, no idea time, just bam. Like, we don't pick games off of the street like apples.
It was a lot of ports.
Here's the problem that I have with that. People were complaining for new announcements for games, and they made new. Who are these people? These are the same people that were complaining about E3. There was no big announcements.
Exactly.
Dude, these people are hypocrites because Nintendo made 3 big major franchise announcements: Game Freak, Pokemon RPG, Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion. You can't sit here and say, where are the new announcements? There's a lot of ports they announced. No, look, listen. I get it for the people who are complaining about E3. I get that. I get for the people who are complaining about ports. But you can't sit here and tell me during the direct where they announced Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, and a brand new Game Freak Pokemon RPG, and every single freaking Final Fantasy game that, there's all just ports. Like, what, they just announced 3 new games. What? Come on. No.
I think the ports are taking the attention away from the announcements.
That's stupid. Why?
Why?
Why would that?
Because
we're getting games. Like, if you go to the
It's
Nintendo
took the
Direct,
attention away, man. It
if
starts
you're
off,
going
it's
to
like,
Nintendo
here's
Direct, I am
Luigi.
looking at
And
all
then it
the
just
lines
talks about ports for
from
an
the time
hour.
start for all of the announcements. It takes up my entire screen for how many things they announced in that 35 minutes.
I don't
But
see
like,
what the, I don't see what
and
the
I'm sure
problem
the
is.
people
A
who
lot
are
of these
complaining
people
about
who
ports, are any of you guys mentioning that we finally got that Animal Cross freaking announcement that you all have been whining about since the Switch came out, or we even got told about the Switch? Where's Animal Crossing? We finally got Animal Crossing. People are like, we only got a teaser. Like, at least they freaking told you that Animal Crossing is coming. It's because you all keep complaining about it.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not upset about the ports. I'm just upset about the presentation. Like, I found it boring. There's a lot of stuff that didn't tickle my fancy, and that's fine. That's allowed to happen. Other people can be extremely excited, and other people can be disappointed with the direct. I'm still excited for games. I'm still excited for some games they announced, and I'm excited for other games they didn't talk about. But I just don't think the direct was great because it didn't interest me. And that's where I'm at with it.
And that's fine. What I'm trying to say is that no matter what, this direct proves the people that are there, you cannot please everyone. Because if you go on my video about Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, everybody there is complaining like, why don't we get, they won't even talk about why don't we get like older, like why don't we get Final Fantasy 15, the bigger one? Because most Nintendo fans that are into know that Square Enix already commented why Final Fantasy 15 is tough. So they've already given their explanation.
Sure.
So people already know that. People were all crying for the older Final Fantasy games. Everyone was crying for the older Final Fantasy games, and then Nintendo announces that at the direct, and then some people are saying, oh, well, they're ports. It's like, no matter what you do, there's going to be a problem. People are going to have a problem with something, no matter what Nintendo does. And I think that's the biggest thing that's sad about these directs. Like, people said in the last direct, well, where are the new announcements for 2019? If you go on Nintendo's E3 page, people are saying, where's 2019 games? Where's Animal Crossing? Where's Luigi's Mansion? Or where's Luigi's Mansion for Switch? Where are these games? Like, where is what Game Freak doing Pokemon Let's Go? Where's stuff where I want Pokemon 2019? Okay, you got Pokemon 2019 and you got a new RPG from them. It's still not good enough. That's my biggest issue, is that everything that people complain about in previous directs, Nintendo addresses them and gives them more, and it's still a problem. It's still not good enough. That's my thing. And like I said, I get it if people, if you don't like the direct or whatever. I'm not an Animal Crossing fan, guys. I'm not the biggest Animal Crossing fan. I'm not the biggest Luigi's Mansion fan. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna sit here and say, oh well, the direct sucked because I don't like Animal Crossing and Luigi's Mansion. I'm like, okay, people were crying for these games. These games are new. These are not ports. These are big franchises. They're coming out 2019. People wanted these announcements at E3, right? People were saying, where are these games at E3? They give them these games, and the direct still is not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my only issue, because you can go to Nintendo's. You can go to Nintendo's E3, and that's what people are crying for. Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion. And you get that, and now it's a problem. It's still a problem.
And I'm just having fun bashing it on here as a joke, but I didn't go out. I didn't tweet. I didn't start attacking anything and doing. I didn't make one word about it.
I'm not saying you.
Yeah, no, but I'm giving the example because I'm the one on here that's, on the opposite spectrums of enjoying it. So don't, for anyone to understand, don't take anything I'm really saying to too much heart. I don't really care.
Shout outs. We got some more donations. $2 donation. Blue Bolt calls you a Toby.
That's fine. Toby's my favorite character from Naruto anyway. So
nice. Eric Popowich donated $2 and says, I'm ready for Mario Party. Avedon Smith donated $5 and says Final Fantasy VII on Smash. So there you go. Thank you, Avedon, for the donation. And Aaron also donated $1.99 and says Final Fantasy on Switch hype. So Final Fantasy on Switch hype. I think, objectively speaking, the older Final Fantasy games are better than Final Fantasy 15. That's just my opinion.
That's fair.
Fair. I've played Final Fantasy 15. I like it, but I think 9 is ridiculous. I think 9 is ridiculously better. Like, it's not even close. 9.
I like the story in 15. I just didn't like how, to really get the full story, you not only have to watch like the anime and then the spin-off movie and play the game to get the full story. And a lot of people but I just want the full story from the game. It's like, you want the backstory? You got to go here. You want the explanation of what all this happened? You got to go watch this. Mm-hmm. I watched it all. I enjoyed it. I got enveloped in the story. That's why I love 15. But I think 7's a better game than 15. It's better. And I'm sure the remake will be good whenever that comes out, 2035.
Okay. I'm going to take some comments in the chat, guys. We're going to try to keep this one at an hour for this one, just because I've got some stuff that I got to do.
Some stuff, huh?
Yes, some stuff. I've got to work on the
Johnny
channel. I got to work on the channel, guys. There's a lot of stuff. So we'll take some questions from the chat. Basically, that's what we talked about. The direct was there, guys. Splatoon got a big update, so look for. Actually, I'm gonna get back into Splatoon with that 4.0 update. I'm gonna get back into it.
Did we confirm that there's a battle royale mode?
No, there's no confirmation. There's no confirmation of the battle royale mode.
Because I've been saying like Splatoon would be really cool with a battle royale mode.
So yeah.
Dude, what was that trailer for it? Dude, I couldn't read any text in that Splatoon trailer.
It's not
because you didn't believe hard enough.
It's not text that you're supposed to read. It's just the different brands and stuff that they have in the game.
I had no idea what was going on in that, and it looked like an anime opening for something. I was so confused. I had no idea what was going on.
I think that, you know what the thing about it, Big Dan, is that I think, and I'll go over the comments here with everybody, I think that they did reveal, I mean, if you play Animal Crossing, you're probably older. Animal Crossing has an older installed, like, Animal Crossing's, the people that play Animal Crossing aren't kids. You know what I'm saying? They're actually people in their 20s and 30s and maybe even older than that. Luigi's Mansion, kids aren't playing that. That's for people that are older. Luigi's Mansion started on the GameCube. Stuff like the the Machina game, that's for older people. Most of the Final Fantasy kids today aren't playing Final Fantasy. Those are older people playing Final Fantasy. So I don't really see anything. I don't see the problem with the direct, Big Dan. I know you've been complaining a lot about it, but I don't really see the problem. There's nothing that you can really say that's going to get me to think that there was a problem with this direct based on. I give solid evidence though. I'm like, hey, people wanted this, and this. I can show you the comments. I made a video on it. And I made a video on it just so I can gather all the salty comments of people asking for older Final Fantasies. So when they do get announced, I can bring it back up to you guys right now. I'm like saying, no, everybody was complaining that we want these games here. I got proof. I got receipts, homies. So yeah. Anyway, Ben with the $5 donation says, hot take. I like the direct and Jordan. I like Jordan too. I like Jordan's take on the. I like it. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. Let's get some more takes from the comment section here.
Hot takes.
K19 says, players, can we all agree that Damon Cross Ex Machina looks amazing? Yes, it does look really good.
It looks beautiful. Not interested in the game, though.
Why would you not be interested in that game?
I don't know. I wasn't digging the gameplay.
Because Jordan doesn't like anything. There's nobody listening to me.
I like stuff, but it's like, it's not for me. It's not my type of game.
It's not his type of game. That's
I think
okay.
It looks beautiful. I think the artwork in it's great.
Not everybody loves Spyro, and that's okay. You know?
Yeah. If you say Spyro's crap, then it's your opinion. Yeah. I don't care, dude.
It's not.
Did anybody hear that breaking Jordan's voice though?
No, that's puberty.
You're long past puberty, honey. Yeah, I heard that. Do you think
Tell that to the acne on my.
Dumb Guy Gaming says, Mama Mercy, Nintendo has to space new games. I don't think haters get that. The ports are hold over till new games come out. I mean, there's ports, there's new games.
Exactly.
But wait,
exactly.
But I don't even get that. I don't even get that though, because there's ports and there's new games. There's both.
Well, there are both, but like the thing is that the ports are going to fill in the gaps between the brand new big games.
Absolutely. You got Smash Brothers in between. You got Super Mario Party in between. You got Starlink Battle for Atlas in between. You got what's it called?
Which, by the way, can we talk about how good Wolf looked?
Wolfenstein 2?
Can we talk about how deep his voice was for Wolf?
Oh yeah, Wolf.
Starlink.
Oh yeah, Starlink. Oh yeah, Wolf looked amazing in Starlink.
His voice was so deep.
Yeah.
He's bad guy.
I know, but he was like Wolf. Like I'm like Jesus Christ.
It sounded great. It sounded great. I mean, in my opinion, I wish, because you know what all these ports that didn't come over to the system, you know what we would have had if all these ports didn't come over? We would have had Wii U. And I will tell you guys, during the Wii U era, that was like the Great Depression. People complained when ports didn't come over. Nintendo was making new games for the Wii U. Pretty much all the games that were coming to the Wii U in 2013 that came in they were all new. They weren't ports, but there was nothing to fill the gaps. There was no gap fillers. There was no anything else. So if we remove these ports, that would be a problem. Would you guys not want these games? Because it's like either or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, oh, we either get Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, or we get Final Fantasy 15. It's not either or. But Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, it's better than like 99% of games that come out today. It's better than like most of the games that come out today. So for me, I have Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. Once I knew for sure, confirmed that it was coming to the Switch, I stopped playing it on PS4. I found out a few weeks ago that Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age was coming confirmed, and I was like, oh, I'm done playing this on PS4. I'm playing on Switch. So
yeah, and same thing with Final Fantasy at World. Is that what it's called? The cute chibi one?
Yeah. That one I didn't play because I knew it would come eventually. So I was like, World of Final Fantasy. Yeah.
I've literally, like, every time we go to the game store, Skits is like, I'll get it for you, because you always look at it every time we're here. I'm like, no, I'm waiting for it to get on the Switch. This is going to be a Switch game. I know it's going to be a Switch game. It's a perfect Switch game. And look, now it's on the Switch.
See, not everybody's. Moe says, when Luigi's Mansion 3DS was revealed, I knew that a Switch version. It only made sense though. The Direct was good. Final Fantasy 7 on a Nintendo console. Yeah, that's crazy. Zema Duvant says, player, since I own 33 games for the Nintendo Switch and I'm buying 10 before April, nothing to play. BS. Well, there's only ports. Wave Symphony says, player, since I'm trying to get all of you guys' takes here.
A lot of times when we have new consoles that are just starting out, the first couple of years are mostly ports, while they build the new games. And I don't see people complaining when PlayStation's like, we're going to remaster this game we've remastered 5 times.
The difference,
like The Last of Us.
The difference with PlayStation is that PlayStation gets everything. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation gets like all the third-party announcements, the big games like DMC. It gets all of those.
It gets the filler titles between the...
It gets the filler titles in between them. Now, the quality of those titles obviously is subjective, right? I don't think this generation is very good. This generation is actually very bad. I think this generation's bad, and I think last generation's bad. I think these generations aren't. Compared to 5th and 6th generation?
You know what? Because I'm only thinking on one console. If you add everything together, you're right.
I'm just saying, compared to 5th and 6th generation, I don't think this generation is very good, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, other people disagree with me wholeheartedly. But if you look at the games that have came out this generation, what are the games that everyone's so... God of War, exclusive, single-player game.
This year is really being the defining year of exclusives for at least Sony on this end.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man's
killing it. Last year, Horizon Zero Dawn, killing it. But these are exclusive... These aren't third-party games. The best games... This might be the first generation where the best games on PS4, Xbox One, those two systems are from Sony. Can we sit here and say that? This might be the one of the
100%.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, all these third-party games are coming, but Sony is actually outdoing the third-party developers, and not by a small margin, by a large margin, in my opinion. I think Spider-Man, Horizon, God of War are much better than a lot of the third-party stuff that's been released.
But nobody also talks about, like, when the PlayStation 4 first came out, and they were just remastering or remaking games they put out the generation before.
Well, some people
Xbox does the same thing.
Some people did, but at the same time, you have to look at it like with the PS4, it was just selling so well. you know, so people obviously put that aside, and I think some people accuse Nintendo fans of doing the same thing. Oh, well, you're just brushing aside all the ports. Like some people are like, oh, well, it's doing the same thing that PlayStation 4 is doing. You know, like, you know, so I think that that's basically what it kind of comes down to. In the first couple of years, yeah, I don't think the PlayStation 4 had anything good, but I'm not the thing about it is that, guys, any system, I'm not against remasters and ports. You know, go ahead.
What about it?
I was gonna say Infamous is
Infamous
great.
came out 20.
It came out a few months after the launch of the PlayStation.
Yeah, so
4.
I mean, I'm a huge Infamous fan.
Same here, man.
I think Infamous Second Son is the worst one out of them. Or it's
no, I think it's better than the first game. I think the second game is still my favorite out of all of them. The first game hasn't aged well.
Okay, you're right about the aging of the first game. Okay, I get that. I had a little bit more fun maybe playing the first game just because it was new. And
that's
then,
fair.
yeah, maybe that's it. But I'm not saying like Infamous Second Son is horrible or anything. No, it's not. They're all good games.
Great
but then there was Infamous Second Son. Killzone Shadowfall was bad. Knack was bad. And then they had the Last of Us Remastered was the best and biggest selling game for them until like for a while as a first party game. They started picking it up obviously, but I think that, you know, with this generation with Nintendo, I think that's just the biggest thing with PlayStation is that it has the graphics, it has all of that. So that's the reason why people were just kind of like, okay, well, it's fine. And then now we're looking at it 5 years later, like, oh, well, now we're getting Horizon and God of War and all these cool games, you know, and in addition to bigger third party games like Red Dead and, you know, and Call of Duty they get that every year, but you know, whatever. So,
same thing's gonna happen for the next generation of consoles. All the big stuff usually comes, like, at least for what we've seen recently, the big stuff hits at the end of the console's last couple of years, and then the next console generation starts. It brings a lot of those big games to that console over the first few years and a couple big hits, and then, you know, 3 years into the PlayStation 5, you'll start getting the new God of Wars, the new big titles. You know, we're going to start seeing that, and I've just accepted it. You know, it's
so why can't you accept it for the Switch?
Oh, I accept it for the Switch. Like I said, I really don't care. I really don't care what games come to the Switch. You could put Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on the Switch. Am I going to meme about it and tell jokes? Absolutely. Yes. But you can still put it on there. It's not going to change the fact that it's put on there. I can't stop it just because I said a joke about it.
Well, no, I mean, like I said, I can see the points that, you know, even like I said, Jordan, he's not being 100% serious, but I mean, obviously you have your opinions on it, which is fine. I think that's good. I think that made this is easily the biggest podcast we've done, obviously because of the direct, but also because of, you know, the hot takes and stuff as well.
I'm the hot take guy. I come here every week so y'all can hate me in the chat just for an hour and a half.
We need that person that everybody hates in the chat.
I'm the heel. It's like wrestling. I'm the heel. I'm the one that everyone has to come like, I can't believe Jordan's still on this podcast. He doesn't. Someone said in the comments, he doesn't deserve a seat on this podcast.
Oh, anymore. You absolutely deserve a seat.
No, I'm done. I'm done for. I'm silenced.
You're silenced. No more. You said be sure to boo Jordan every week.
Oh, that's laggy. I know. Laggy.
Also, shout outs to Abaddon with the $3 donation, and he says, "Hot take: I actually liked 2-player mode for Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS." Okay, so
hot take. I didn't. Boom.
Hot take on there. All right, so basically, I'm gonna go over some more of the comments here, guys, for like another. We'll do another 8 minutes, so we'll keep it at an hour. Let's see here. So Michael Bryan says, but OJ is already a heel. You need to be the good guy. LOL. Yeah,
he's been the good guy this episode.
Although I went heel on somebody in my live stream.
But I'm the good guy in this podcast.
I did go heel on somebody. I made fun of his physical appearance.
Jesus. OJ, relax.
I'm sorry, man. Games. Nah, dude, like he pissed me off, man. Like he's been like poking at me kind of like racially, not like full blown racist, but like racially, like, you know, like for example, my skin, like I put like a lot of products on my skin, like, and that's why it's kind of like shiny at times because I have to put my products on my skin or it gets really dry.
No, you're a star. That's why you shine, baby.
I mean, vitamin D, you know, white people just don't get like vitamin D enough because skin's dark, so you don't absorb vitamin D. I don't ever go outside, so I need products that's going to absorb vitamin D. I need to do that stuff, and it makes my skin a bit shinier. Okay, so he's like poking, he's like doing stuff like that, you know, he's making me seem like I'm dumb, you know, and he's like I said, he's calling me out, like he's being just a jerk to people, like being a jerk to me. So I had enough of him. I roasted the hell out of him. So, but yeah. Anyway, Ted Sumo with a $10 donation through Super Chat. Shout out to Ted Sumo. Says, just want to show some love for the PE podcast. Let's go. Ted Sumo is amazing. He's a crazy, amazing editor. Ted Sumo, when PlayerSense gets bigger, I'm going to hire you as an editor. I'm going to get you to do some work for me. He's a great editor.
Ooh.
The thing that I don't want is to hire him and like his work is so much better than mine, and people expect that. It's like I'm like, oh snap! This dude is freaking amazing editor. Somebody said I went full Cardi B on shoe throw.
Yeah, we found out some great stuff about Yoshi.
Yeah, Yoshi. Yoshi's gonna.
I like how there was no announcement of the Labo stuff, even though the title's made out of cardboard.
But we don't know if there's Labo support. Maybe they're gonna
Labo
add
confirmed the title's made out of cardboard. I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh,
next
are we
year.
starting this again?
Yoshi, what is it? Crafted World?
Yeah, Yoshi's Crafted World. Ipster says, it's great that all the Final Fantasies are coming, but no Final Fantasy 8. I think there's licensing issues with Final Fantasy 8. That game's not even on PlayStation 4. So there's something.
Is it licensing issues because of Kingdom Hearts?
Something to do with licensing. That's all. I mean, that's the only reason why. I mean, why else would? I mean, 7. They skip 8, then they go to 9. I mean, I can understand. Like, let's just say that they brought over like 7 and 12. Okay, I get it. Then maybe they just didn't want to bring over the other ones, but they intentionally skipped 8. So that's definitely legal. Something legal. With
Well,
it.
I know Squall is in Kingdom Hearts. Like,
But
he's a big member.
So is in Cloud. Cloud.
Yeah, but it's not Cloud. Like when you fight Cloud in the arena, he's wearing like Vincent's like cape and has like the demon arm, so it's not like Final Fantasy VII Cloud. It's Cloud, but it's not like trademark their blonde boy Cloud. But Squall in Kingdom Hearts is Squall from like 100% Squall from Final Fantasy.
Speaking of Cloud, what's up with this Assassin's Creed Cloud business?
Yeah, we could talk about that a little bit, I guess.
Because I don't even know about that. What are
Assassin's Creed Cloud is coming to the Switch in Japan.
So the same thing they're doing with the Resident Evil?
Yeah, it's the same thing as the Resident Evil one. So
okay,
I'm gonna try this one out. I really want to. I didn't want to try the Resident Evil 7 one because it's like I don't want to. But Assassin's Creed Cloud, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try out Assassin's Creed. I want to see Assassin's Creed Cloud on the Switch. You know what's? I think that it's interesting that they're even considering doing it because it shows that Ubisoft at least wants to have some of these like there's at least some type of interest in there. But I think these cloud editions clearly show that like work like to put them on Switch would take so much. Like it's just not a feasible or normal thing to do. So you get these cloud editions, but I don't think it's gonna come over to the West just like Resident Evil 7. But then again, some people are saying Resident Evil 7 could come over, so we have to wait and see. So I have no idea.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, so Ralph Pollard has a good comment here. He says, I think if the Direct disappointed anyone, it's probably those expecting more Western support and expecting Nintendo to go head on like Sony and Microsoft does. That's not going to happen. Yeah, that's true.
That's part of it, I guess. I would have loved to have seen some other titles. You know, a lot of stuff that didn't interest me. That's all it was really. There's a lot of stuff that just didn't pique my fancy.
Absolutely. Like if you're a but I've said this before. Like if you're a Western dude, like Switch is just not going to be. It's not the system for you. If you're a big Western guy, you know, like it's either going to be older games like that were released on the PS3 and 360 or older games, or it's going to be very sparse because the problem, this is what I talked about. Like when I said I talked to developers back in 2017, they're all saying all the developers that I talked to, aside from one, every developer said the Switch is fantastic. Like, OJ, it's gonna sell, it's gonna do well, it's gonna do really well, but we can't produce. Like you're not going to see everything day and date. You're just not gonna see that because the Switch, the RAM, the architecture, how it's developed for, how like the development kits are. Everyone's used to PS4 and Xbox One, but you're going to see a lot of cool stuff. Everyone told me that you're going to see a lot of cool Japanese stuff. You're going to get games. Trust me, it's not going to be like Wii U. It's not going to be that disaster. But everyone said, all the developers that I talked to said, it's just not going to be like PS4 and Xbox One. It's not going to be like, don't expect that. And that's the reason why I made videos, like I said, dating back to before the Switch even launched, saying, don't expect this for the duration of the Switch. I said, it's not going to happen. I said, you're going to see stuff here and there. I was told that, yeah, you're going to see the Western game here and there. You're going to see the Doom. You're going to see the Eternal, Doom Eternal, whatever. You're going to see Diablo. You're going to see those things sparse out. I mean, we got the City Skylines or whatever announcement. We got Civilization. You're going to see some stuff, but don't expect to see everything like PS4 and Xbox One. It's just not. Nintendo's essentially playing. Nintendo is playing the catch-up game, but they're playing their own way. Nintendo is going to ride this mobile thing out until mobile chips are as strong and as good or near the quality of the consoles, they're gonna take that technology till it gets there, and they're gonna ride it. So basically, we're in the infancy. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. We're Generation 1, Generation 0, whatever you want to call it with Switch. It's not Gen 9 or anything like that. Nintendo has literally completely rebooted and said, we're gonna do this. We're gonna ride this train till the chips get as good as the next, until you can make mobile chips that are as strong as consoles. But this is the ground roots level. They took the strongest chip that they can get at the time, price effective. That was the Tegra X1. They could have went with the K1, which wouldn't have got them as much support. So they went with the strongest one that they can get, which was the X1 at the time. So Nintendo's just going to do that. Next time that we see the next Switch, it's going to be the strongest mobile chip that's affordable that they can get. And they're just going to ride that until whatever, so that's what they're gonna do.
Switch U comes out.
Yeah, they're just gonna. Nintendo's not going back to the whole big bulky box thing. They're not doing that. And whatever developers can provide games for this and whatever power they can get, which I think we'll see custom chips, which will be able to inch out more power from the systems in the future. That's what you're gonna get. That's what it's gonna be. So that's what Nintendo's going with. This is pretty much, like I said, Gen 1 for Nintendo. They've rebooted and. That's why I've made multiple videos before the Switch even launched saying that. So there you go. Let's see here. Well, let's see how it runs. I think the game City Skylines is out today, so let's see how it runs.
Dude, that trailer was awful for it. The frame rate was
didn't
garbage.
look good. Did not look good.
No, it did not.
We'll have to wait and see how it actually. We don't know when they actually show like that trailer, like when they made the footage for that game. But we'll have to wait. Like I said, I'll check it out and I'll see if it's horrible or not. Let's see here. I think what? Whoa, Tetsumo. I never said anything like that. Contra among those classic games? No, Contra's not among the classic games. It's not a classic games. It's not among those. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and have to wrap this one up. At this point, Jordan, can you tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, y'all can find me on the YouTube channel Jordan Fringe, on Twitter Jordan Fringe 94. Of course, you can come tell me how much of an idiot I am for having different opinions, or memeing or trolling or whatever y'all want to say. It's all good. It's all love. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's about it. Good.
Jordan, you
good
sound down this podcast, dude.
I mean, I got beat down, man. I try to have some fun. I get tell them the worst person in the world. You saw all the crap I was getting just because I was memeing it up. It's all right though. I'll come back stronger. Next week, I'm gonna be no complaining. Next week, not one complaint. I'm gonna be the nice guy next week. Everything that comes out, I love. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna talk about it. Be like, wow, this is great. I'm so happy. That's all we're gonna get. Just, hey guys,
BS.
Love is love, man. This is great. Everything's great.
All right, Mama Mercy, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on Mama Mercy Gaming. I just wrote something in the chat. Just click on my name. It'll take you to my channel.
All right, and of course, we have plenty of content that's already up on the channel for today. Got some videos that I already put up, and of course, we'll have the Nintendo Direct replay if you want to watch that, my live reaction to it. I'll put that to go live right after this podcast is done, and this podcast will be up later tonight for you guys to watch as well. So thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. We had a record number of people, up to 3. I think we peaked like at 330 something.
But only 107 likes.
Yeah, you guys hit that like button before you go. Hit that like button, please. I didn't ask you guys to hit the like button. I should have been asking you guys. So
yeah, at least 150.
Yeah, at least 150. That'd
be
good.
About half that.
I feel bad now for Jordan, guys. Jordan.
No, don't feel. Dude, I really don't. I'm just having fun, man. I'm just glad to be here. I love doing this.
Okay, I think Jordan.
OJ, do you want to raid Rax? Rax is streaming.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Can you link his page?
I mean, I can.
I can do it if you don't want it.
No, I got it.
All right, guys. So go raid Rax. Rax is streaming right now. My boy Rax. Go make sure you go raid him.
Okay, so guys, everybody's asking about the tank top. I got a message this morning that the tank top mailed out this morning. So next podcast, I will be advertising the tank top.
People really remember that. They really.
Of course, they remember that. That's been on their mind the whole time.
So that's the only reason why they showed up, is to see Mama Mercy in a tank top. Okay.
Oh, and I will be wearing my good bra.
Oh wow. Skits, I didn't say I had nothing to do with that. Okay.
Oh man, this could
I
be.
gotta show off the merchandise.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't actually.
Oh my god,
It's pink.
can't wait. Oh, it's pink.
Oh God. Okay, we're ending this. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching.
It's pink.
We'll see you guys for the next one.
It's pink, guys.
Peace
It's
out.
pink.